Students, this is the online class. We will discuss about the first chapter, that is electrostatics. You write electrostatics. Electrostatics. Then what do you mean by electrostatics? It is the branch of physics which deals about the study of static charge and the related phenomena like force, field and electric potential. Okay? Electrostatics is the branch of physics which deals about the study of static charge and the related phenomena like force, field and electric potential. That means in this chapter we will deal about the static charge, and due to this static charge we will discuss the electric force due to a charge on another charge and the electric field around a charge and the electric potential. So now we will discuss about the electric charge. Then what do you mean by electric charge? You write electric charge. It is the intrinsic or internal property associated with all matters due to which the electric and magnetic effects can be realized. Okay? Electric charge, it is the intrinsic or the internal property associated with all matters due to which the electric magnetic effects can be realized. Then how can you know that electric charge is the internal property associated with all matters? You tell me, matter consists of atoms. Suppose you enter into an atom which consists of a nucleus, and the electrons are revolving in different orbits. So suppose you enter into the atom which is a neutral one, but first you will reach a particle which is electron, which has charge. Then you enter into the nucleus, which is also positive charge. Then you enter to the nucleon, proton, which is also charged. And again you see the structure of proton. Proton consists of a core surrounded by a cloud. This cloud consists of meson or pion, pi plus, pi minus, pi naught, meson, and the core. This is your cloud, and this is the core which consists of quark, which are also particle. In this case, the cloud of the proton is also consist of charged particle, that is pi plus and pi minus, meson or pion, and the core which is made up of quark, these are also the charged particle. So from this we can conclude that the electric charge is intrinsic or internal property associated with all metals. Okay? Then what about the electric and magnetic effects? You see, atom consists of nucleus, which is a positively charged. Around the nucleus, electric field is there, and within which electrons are revolving, and electrons are revolving due to the force of electrostatic force of attraction, which will provide the centripetal force to the revolving electron. So in this case, electric force is the electrical phenomenon. When electron is in motion, it creates current, that is electric current, which is also electrical phenomenon. And you all know that any current carrying conductor produces magnetic field. So in this case, electron is moving, produces electric current, and ultimately the magnetic field is produced. And you have already, you have studied in chemistry also the magnetic quantum number while studying the structure of atom. In this case, you have studied one quantum number, that is magnetic quantum number. So from overall from these things, we have concluded that charge is the ultimate particle due to which electric and magnetic effects can be realized. Okay? Then we will discuss about the properties of electric charge. Then properties of electric charge. Properties of electric charge. The first property, you write. The first property is the cause of charging. The cause of charging a body is the loss or gain of electrons by the body. That means the cause of charging a body is the loss or gain of electrons by the body. In chemistry, you have read that sodium becomes Na plus by giving a free electron. Sodium becomes positively charged by emitting an electron. Similarly, magnesium becomes Mg2 plus by releasing 2 electrons. Similarly, chlorine gains 1 electron to become chloride ion. You see, the cause of charging a body is the loss or gain of electrons by the body. In this case, sodium becomes Na plus to the transfer of electrons. Loss of electrons is there. In this case, chlorine becomes chloride ion by gaining 1 electron. In this case, there is a gain of electrons and chloride ion is formed. Okay, so the cause of charging a body is the loss or gain of electrons by the body. Then you write, charge is of 2 types. Charge is of 2 types. That is positive and negative as per the scientist Franklin. Franklin is the scientist who decided or who discussed about the charge, categorize the charge, that is charge is of two types, that is positive and negative. Clear? Then you write third property. Charge is a, can anybody tell me which type of quantity charge is? Can anybody tell me which type of quantity the charge is? Whether the charge is scalar or vector. That is, okay, that is charge is a scalar quantity. 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 So it is added algebraically. That is 1 coulomb plus 2 coulomb, 1 coulomb plus 2 coulomb, that is 3 coulomb. Just like 1 kg of rice plus 2 kg of rice, that is 3 kg of rice. Since charge is a scalar quantity, so it is always added algebraically. Okay? Then you write the fourth property of electric charge. Then you write the fourth properties of electric charge. You all know this property from your 10th class or 9th class. You have all know this property, that is like charges repel, but unlike charges attract with each other. Clear? Like charges repel, but unlike charges attract with each other. That means positive charge, and negative charge, they both repel. Positive charge repels positive charge, negative charge repels negative charge, but positive charge attract negative charge. That is, like charges repel, but unlike charges attract with each other. Then you come to your fifth property. The minimum amount of charge that has free and independent existence in nature is the charge of an electron. The minimum amount of charge that has free and independent existence in nature is the charge of an electron. That is, how much minimum amount of charge we can get in our daily life. That is the charge of an single electron, and you all know the charge of an electron is minus 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. This is the minimum amount of charge which has free existence independently in nature. That is the reason why sodium becomes sodium plus, sodium becomes sodium plus by removing one electron, magnesium becomes magnesium 2 plus by removing 2 electrons, chlorine becomes Cl minus by gaining 1 electron. So there is no fraction is possible. Then come to your sixth property. You all write sixth property. charge is quantized. Charge is quantized. You see, charge is quantized. That is, this is the basic property. Charge is quantized. That is, charge on any body always exists in some integral multiple of the electronic charge. The electronic charge. Mathematically, Q is equivalent to plus or minus Ne, where N is integer and E is the charge of an electron. So what about your charge is quantized? Charge on any body always exists in some integral multiple of electric charge. Mathematically, Q equal to plus or minus Ne. That is where N is the integer 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, and E is the charge of an electron. That means in any body where charge resides, how can you express the charge? This amount of charge can be expressed in terms of some integer multiple of electronic charge. Suppose I will rub this pen with dry hair and it will acquire some amount of charge. If I will ask you what amount of charge it contains, can anybody tell me? You do not know exact how much amount of charge is there, but blindly you can tell that, sir, whatever amount may be the charge, it must be some integer multiple of charge. That means it must be 10 times of electronic charge, 50 times of electronic charge, or 100 times of electronic charge. So that means charge on any body always expressed in some integral multiple of the charge of an electron. Then why the quantization word will come? Can anybody tell me whether some other quantities which are quantized? Can anybody? Lalit, you tell me. Can anybody? Lalit? Like electric charge, whether there are some other quantities which are quantized? You see, other two quantities are also there. Other two quantities are also there which are quantized. You see, energy is quantized. Energy is quantized as per Planck. Energy is quantized as per Planck. That is, according to Planck, light energy consists of tiny packets of energy or bundles of energy called quanta or quantum, and one quantum of light is denoted as photon. So E can be written as NH nu. That means energy of any source can also be expressed as some integral multiple of energy of a single photon. Suppose you can consider a candle, a CFL and a LED tube light. For candle we can write 50 H nu energy. For CFL we can write 500 H nu energy. For LED tube light we can write 50,000 H nu. This is an example. That means energy of any source can be expressed as some integer multiple of a charge of a, that is, sorry, the energy of a photon. Clear? Similarly, these things are given by Planck. Similarly, another quantity is also quantized, which is your angular momentum. Angular momentum. You must have read in chemistry, in atomic structure. Angular momentum. According to both, the angular momentum associated with an electron in an orbit of an atom is integral multiple of h by 2 pi. That is, mvr is equivalent to an h by 2 pi, where n is 1, 2, 3 and so on. This is the angular momentum is quantized. Your minimum amount of angular momentum is h by 2 pi. Your minimum amount of energy is energy of a photon, and in the previous case, the charge of an electron is the minimum amount of charge. All of you clear about the quantization of charge? Then next come to your other property. You write seventh property. Charge is conserved. Charge is conserved. You see, these are the basic properties. Charge is quantized, charge is conserved. That is charge of an isolated system. Charge of an isolated system always remains constant. Charge is conserved, that is, charge of an isolated system always remains constant. What about your isolated system? That is, the system in which charge cannot be added or charge cannot be taken out. So this is your isolated system where total charge remains constant. For example, you will take an example. Take a nuclear reaction, uranium 92 to 38 changes to thorium 90 to 34 by emitting an alpha particle to He4. You see, in this case, this subscript represents number of proton or atomic number. So this will represent the charge on the nucleus. So in left hand side, you see, in case of uranium 92 to 38, 92 proton. In right hand side, thorium has 90 proton and alpha particle has 2 proton. So you see 92, 90 plus 2. So overall, in this reaction, charge is conserved. That is, it is an isolated system. So any chemical reaction, any nuclear reactions can also taken as your isolated system where charge is always conserved. Okay? Then next, come to your next property, eighth property. Eighth property, charge is invariant. Charge is invariant. Charge is invariant. That is, charge on a body does not change. Does not change. Charge on a body does not change whatever may be its speed. Charge is invariant, that is, charge on a body does not change whatever may be its speed. Then why the invariant word? Why the invariant word will come. From which source this invariant word is coming? You see, charge is invariant. That means charge on a body never changes, whatever may be the speed of the body. Is there any quantity? Can anybody tell me, is there any quantity which are variant? That means with high speed, these quantities are changed. So according to Einstein's, you see, according to Einstein's, mass is variant. Mass is variant. Time is variant. And length is variant. You see, these are the equations given by Einstein's in theory of relativity, where m0 is the static mass and m is the mass of the body in motion and v is its speed, c is the light speed. You see, if a body moves with light speed, then it will be 1 minus 1, 0, something by 0 becomes infinite. That means if you will move with light speed, then your mass will be infinite. Similarly, time will increase, length will decrease. So you see, mass is variant, time is variant, length is variant, but charge is invariant. Clear? Next. Then you come to your which property? 9th or 10th? You see, during the process of charging, during the process of charging, during the process of charging, the mass of a body changes. Mass of a body changes. That is, mass of a negatively charged body, mass of a negatively charged body is always greater than the mass of a positively charged identical body. Okay, that means during the process of charging, the mass of a body changes. That is, mass of a negatively charged body is always greater than the mass of a positively charged identical body. You must have read in chemistry, the mass of H minus ion is always greater than H plus ion. Similarly, mass of Cl minus ion is also greater than the mass of Cl plus ion. So this is also applicable to macroscopic body also. Suppose this is a sphere, this is also another identical sphere. This becomes plus 5 coulomb charge, it gains plus 5 coulomb charge by emitting electrons, and this gets minus 5 coulomb charge. So in this case, what happens? You see, both the bodies are identical, but this body has greater mass in comparison to this body. Okay? So this is all about your property, 9th property. Then next you come to your another property, 10th property. You see, mass can exist. Mass can exist without charge. Mass can exist without charge. For example, neutron. but mass can exist without charge, but charge can never exist without mass. Okay, all of you clear or not? Mass can exist without charge. You see, neutron has mass, but it is neutral, it has no charge. But the reverse is not true. Charge can never exist without mass. Clear? This property is quite obvious to all. Then you next come to your another property. You see, repulsion is the sure test of electrification. Repulsion is the sure test of electrification, but not the attraction. As attraction may also occur between a charged body and a neutral body. Okay? Repulsion is the sure test of electrification, but not the attraction, as attraction may also occur between a charged body and a neutral body. You see, attraction has two probabilities. Unlike charge will attract, and a charged body will attract a neutral body due to a phenomena induction, which we will discuss later on. Don't worry, we will discuss later on. You see, the phenomena attraction has two properties. Unlike charge attract each other. A charged body also attracts a neutral uncharged body. So, due to attraction, we cannot be sure the phenomena of electrification on a body, but repulsion has no two probability. Repulsion has only one probability, that is like charges repel, either positive charge repel positive charge, or negative charge will repel negative charge. Clear? Then next come to your eleventh property. You see, 11th property, charge always resides on the surface of a conducting body. Charge always resides on the surface of a conducting body as like charges repel with each other and try to stay as far as possible. You see, charge always resides on the surface of a conducting body as like charges repel with each other and try to stay as far as possible. Suppose you provide some amount of charge to a conducting sphere, suppose copper sphere. Suppose you give certain amount of charge to the inner portion of the solid copper sphere. Suppose some amount of charge is given to the inner portion of the copper sphere. Then what happens? This charge will repel with each other and ultimately they will come to the surface of the conducting sphere. That means charge always resides on the surface of the conducting body. Okay? Then the last property of the electric charge you write. This is a very interesting property. Now this is not the last. The 12th property, that is the distribution of charge. The distribution of charge is uniform for a uniform body. The distribution of charge is uniform for a uniform body, but it is non-uniform. But it is non-uniform for a non-uniform body. Non-uniform body. It is maximum. It is maximum where the radius of curvature is minimum. That is, more amount of charge will reside on the surface region of a conducting body. That is the reason why charge always leaks from the surface point of the conducting body, which is otherwise called as corona discharge. Corona discharge. Okay? So you see, if we will give some amount of charge to a uniform copper sphere, then charge will distribute uniformly over its surface. But if we will give same amount of charge to a surface conducting body or non-uniform conducting body, then you see the distribution of charge. The distribution of charge will be much more at the surface region in comparison to the flat region. So that is why from this region sometimes the charge will leak to the atmosphere. So this is known as your corona discharge. Now we will discuss the last property. You see, a charge at rest always produces electric field around it. A charge at rest always produces an electric field around it. A charge at rest always produces an electric field around it. In uniform motion, it produces both electric and magnetic field. Okay? And In accelerated motion, it produces electromagnetic waves in addition to the above two fields. Clear? If a charge is at rest, then it will produce always an electric field around it. If the charge is in motion, uniform motion, then it will produce both electric field as well as magnetic field. You all know that charge in motion creates currents, and any current carrying conductor produces magnetic field. And if the charged particle will be in accelerated motion, then it will produce electromagnetic waves, which is the basic principle of antenna, in addition to both electric field and magnetic field. Clear, all of you? Okay. You do a small problem. I will give you. You write a very small problem. You try to solve. Find. You write. Find the number of electrons transferred by a body. Find the number of electrons transferred by a body to acquire a charge of 1 coulomb. Can anybody solve? Try to solve it. Okay, tell me which formula you will use to solve this. Anybody? Okay. You write. You see only one formula we have already read, that is quantization of charge, Q equal to plus or minus Ne. You see this charge given to you is positive charge, so you write it is as 1 coulomb, and you also write from this side the sign plus N, and the charge of electron, that is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Okay, you see, here you have to put the magnitude of charge of an electron. You see, so what about your N? 1y 1.6 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. So it is 10 by 16 10 to the power 19. Then what about your 100 by 16 into 10 to the power 18? So it will come as 6.25 into 10 to the power 18. You see, this much of electrons to be removed by a body to acquire the charge of 1 coulomb. So you imagine that 1 coulomb of charge is a very large amount of charge. Okay, students, this much. Then next time we will discuss about the methods of charging a body. Okay? Any doubt? Anybody? Okay.